joining us. It's duty to speak up, and that's for all of us. If we see something that we think isn't safe, to say something. You know, regardless of rank or position, that we're a team, and if you're a part of that team of patients. So won't read those to you, but just some interesting thoughts about what some people may think as facts, but actually not true. And I thought of you all on the second one there, so.
With some of them sending out the full survey through the text message thing, which they said the response rate for that's like 0 because it's near 30 questions.
So they tested that one.
But these are the questions that they ask. Does anybody have any thoughts or like those questions or have any suggestions? So this is still all in like prototype test phase, so anything can still be changed.
So when this group's already been a part of helping to.
We'll get into the how long it takes to get one of these, but yeah. So we're the only Air Force base that does it, but they want to make it so it's the questions are the same across the board, regardless of what branch you're being seen at or what the appointment was for.
And these are only primary care, right?
So I think I'm pretty sure it's right now. Yes, it's only primary care. About 50 split. We were first told that it was only going to be 5-question survey for everybody, but I think they're trying to test that long version to see if maybe they can get rid of the paper version or get a better response, and it cuts costs when it comes to mailing and stuff. So, but the big question there is how soon would you want that survey? Is when when you're done with the appointment. Is it something that once the encounter is closed by the provider, it's within 24 to 48 hours after the closed encounter. So with that being said, I want to say the encounter has to be closed within 72 hours, correct? So the thing with that is if you have an appointment, the encounter, if it does take 72 hours to close the encounter and then another 48 hours, you're looking at almost 4 to 5 days before you're getting this survey across your phone. And I think that's one of the main issues that they're having with response rates is because, the appointment was 3-4 days ago and, you're on your phone, especially for the student population. They get out of class, they can't have their phones. They got 20 notifications on their phone. They're not going to fill out a survey that they got seen 4 or 5 days ago. But
do we have any idea how many people come see a provider and get a prescription? Like, is it half the people who leave with a prescription? 3/4 of the people leave with a prescription? Because I'm thinking if once they walked out the door, if that would come to their phone while they're waiting for their prescription, they would be way more likely to fill it out. The
By
farther-
5 days, you're not gonna be as.
Yeah,
likely to
the
fill it
farther
out.
away from the actual event, the less likely you are to get a response.
That's only if you have an immediate closeout of the encounter, right? The encounter has to be closed before this.
Right,
goes
yeah,
out.
so it has to be closed on Alta before it'll ping them to send the survey. So one idea that they kind of played with is because the code that's attached for these surveys isn't CHCS, is if there's a way that once that appointment is switched to kept in CHCS, so basically once they get checked in and it switches to kept, if it could be, you know, you could put it on maybe some type of timer, so within like, you know, 2 to 3 hours, something like that, you know, so they're almost getting it as they walk out the door or get to their car or something, so it's fresh in their mind. But yeah, that's kind of what they're
More
talking about.
responsive.
The sooner they get it, the more likely they are to fill it out.
And then, is there any reason if you did get a survey, like maybe why you wouldn't want to complete it? Is there any things you guys can think about that?
Don't remember, cause it's been 4 or 5 days.
Right. Well,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Mm.
I received this last week, but I didn't receive a survey through my text. But I haven't received all my results yet, so I don't know if that's why.
Yeah, so it could be still in a pending
Okay.
status till results come back. But it's based off of, there's basically a code, once you check in, they'll ask certain amount of people, or when you get registered here in the base, or at the clinic front desk, there's a code that attaches with your phone number, and then that's what it'll go to. So
But they'll ask me if I want that.
Right,
survey.
yeah,
I wasn't
yeah,
asked that,
yeah,
so
no,
that
okay.
could be another reason why.
I know when initially kicked off, they were asking folks,
yeah,
I don't
so
know if they're still doing that.
right, so
now.
when it initially kicked off a few months ago, they were putting in the code in for pretty much everybody, asking if they want the code or if they want the survey. Yeah, so that's the other thing is maybe playing with the idea of having some type of incentive for completing the survey, you know, but I don't think they can really give out Starbucks gift cards for completing the survey.
2
so,
free prescriptions.
Yeah.
Moved up
I
to
got
the
a
front of the
zillion
line
free
and
might-
go to
prescriptions.
pharmacy.
It might be hard with like dependent or retirees, but one thing that they thought of is for active duty and for the students, maybe just tracking by squadron how many fill it out, and then you could have some type of like MTF partnership
Like pizza parties. for
award or
classes.
certificate or something to that
Such and
nature.
such.
But that was just something that they thought of, maybe some type of incentive.
Don't you guys have a lot of promo stuff?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
all the stuff that went out in the
Yeah, oh,
in
yeah,
the bags
and that's-
stuff.
yeah.
So you have the goodie box, and the next time you visit, you can choose something from the goodie box if you filled out your survey.
You can go see Liz.
Like Pete, if they're, you get a sticker or
Yeah.
something.
No, but they're
On
not
your
stickers.
forehead.
They're cold packs and.
How about a lollipop?
No, I mean it's actual stuff that
Yeah.
you might use. At least what I got in my baggie last year
Mhm.
at health fair
Yeah.
was actual stuff I might use.
Yeah, that's true.
In fact, I've used some of it. So,
Yeah, that's an idea.
and you've got it. It's not like you have to
Right, yeah.
pay for something. I was to say, you get the pizza and whoever else is on the strip there at the.
Not in the yellow format, that's on the electronic format.
Oh,
See,
okay.
they can change it.
I was gonna say,
No, Nick? Sure.
we have to share, that's right.
Mhm.
I'm a good share.
Well, we can hit all the ancillary services as well, so you'll see them at, you know, lab, immunizations, all over the place.
We fell off of it. They're not tracking that anymore. So this was our answer to be able to present back to the training group, hey, this is what the students are saying about our services, whether we're hitting it out of the park or not even getting close. So it was really designed user-friendly for them, but obviously y'all can use it too. But understand through the lens that it was really geared to capture
gonna be too fat to go get to a half size that would fit in the brown box. Right? If it was half size.
But the font can't go any smaller.
Yeah, because then we'll have complaints that the font's too small.
Yeah, well, the students ought to be able to read it a little small, I mean, it's not like they use these guys, right?
You should see some of those kids that come through.
Really, they can't read? Well, I
They
should want it
want-
because
they-
I had
they
some
want
in
it
high
in
school
big
that couldn't
print.
read.
Or maybe go home.
Super happy or super mad?
Right, right.
It's gonna take time to do that, so.
Yeah. You got a nice Likert scale here, except for the awful. I've never seen awful.
Okay, you can really push over, or push it over, awful, just kind of make it so they can hardly read it.
That font really small.
Really small, and make the box really tiny.
But there really is a lot of wasted space here, you know, that you could
Easy.
shrink up
Yeah.
without having to shrink the font. Continue to be boxed. You can leave a lot less space in between the questions and they'll still be readable because they're boxed.
Types of appointments that typically have acute care 24-hour access and chronic follow-up care future access. So our standard for the 24-hour access, we want to have 3 appointments available within 1 day or less than 24 hours. And for that measure, we're performing well across.
That good until after the first of the year.
Most likely, yeah, yes ma'am.
And then you're gonna have run into summer 6 months after that. So
Yeah.
it's cyclic.
Yeah.
We track this data on a daily basis and report it on a weekly basis. So we're always trying to improve day by day, adjusting the mix and ensuring that we can get all the patients in when they need to get in. So if Captain Omwenga is TDY or on leave, or he has an alternate obligation to attend to, we'll have another provider step in and fill that spot. That way the active duty clinic never shuts down.
And we're training there's a new provider in the training pathway, so there's actually 2 in active duty clinic.
Verify that the TRICARE person's gonna be there?
They come,
Like, will they have the information in the appointment line? Is there the appointment line?
cause it's the 4th Monday of every month at 1 o'clock.
That's for December.
Yeah.
Cause
That
that
one's
was
always
December
on the
9th.
holiday. Yeah.
Except for that one.
Yeah, I think they just moved it because of the.
Because of the holiday.
Write it down.
Fourth Monday.
Here, and then we'll post them all out by the pharmacy and front desk.
How long is she normally here for?
An hour.
Oh, an hour?
Yeah, and he usually comes from Abilene.
Oh.
Yeah, it's usually Greg.
Yeah.
comes.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
we do have like a little TRICARE information booth that's in the corner there as you walk in to the left. So.
Okay. surprised because there's so many changes in TRICARE.
I know. Lots of questions. So speaking of those changes, so we're gonna talk about it. So I know last year was the first year for open season, and we talked about it in here, but does anyone have any questions? We're in the window right now. So this is just aligning us with other health plans, you know, that we have this around holidays, you can change
Where,
your mind.
where are
What
your
plan.
thousands of commercials?
Thousands?
Yeah, like Medicare ones.
Oh, well.
Humana sends us one every day.
You're experts.
But they did send out to retirees, at least, to remind them that the dental and even retired federal employees, because I got one too.
And one thing that's kind of developed out of this forum is we've developed like a over 65 or coming up to 65 packet, so it has pretty much every step what to do, you know, what happens when your provider switches from base, that type of stuff. So what you have to be enrolled in, so it lets them know they have to be enrolled in A and B to get TRICARE for life, that type of thing. So it's a whole packet that we have up front.
Thanks for your help.
You can
And
put in.
right now, we have a lot of widows, and they don't seem to know what to get. Can they come in and just get one of those packets? Are they
Yeah.
set right there?
Yeah,
and
oh
all they
yeah,
gotta do
yeah,
is
they're
pick it
gonna
up?
be, so I know referrals should have them, the front desk will have them, and then I know we were talking about maybe seeing if we could take some down to like Shannon and Community, just have them there, and like a little information booth type of thing, so.
And I might take 2 or 3.
Yeah, I can get you some.
Yeah, I forgot to add that, and thank you for bringing that
Oh,
up.
no problem.
Alright, so these next few slides, are, as you can see, slides from its health agency. It's talking about why there are going to be, increases on the pharmacy co-pays. Yay, free pharmacies.
Yeah.
So do we have a list of the military pharmacies that in town? Will there be
Well, I mean,
It's
that's
everybody
referring
but
to here.
CVS.
Yeah.
only here?
But Immunizations has a list, actually, I just got one from them, yesterday. Actually posted it on the Spouses Facebook page, that, yeah, it shows everybody, HEB and all the other pharmacies. So if you need a list, you can go to Immunizations and get it.
Yeah. I hate to have to get an antibiotic on the weekend, because all of a sudden you have to pay for it. Not much, because you can't come in here and get it. If it's a
Pretty much
holiday, it's
everybody
even.
but CVS is the only one that doesn't take TRICARE right now.
Is the only one?
And Immunizations called the other day just to let you guys know, they're not, TRICARE isn't paying for some of the immunizations downtown. So before you make an appointment or things like that, make sure you call TRICARE, cause some of those things have changed. I haven't really, been able to actually follow up and get into what all has changed.
When did that go into effect?
Not sure, it happened to a customer, I believe on Thursday or Friday of last week, and that was the first that I've heard from that. I hadn't had any issues at Walgreens, but it seems like it's targeting, dependent children right now is what they're having issues with. So just make sure you're calling TRICARE before you're having to pay. $50 out of pocket.
Those are not covered.
There was also a referral sometimes from you, right?
Yes.
If they're under 7, right? Isn't it right, Ms. Shields?
Prescriptions for Dr. Muller,
Under 7 for a flu shot.
This is the one that's supposed to cheer us up, but, well, compared to the national average, still pretty good.
What did they go up to this next year? The pharmacy, mail-in pharmacy.
Is that on that previous slide?
That was on the
though?
previous
That
one,
chart,
it
I
went up
think,
like-
let's see, for the home delivery?
Yeah.
Like it's $85.
So it's $10.